If you look at my screen right now, I've typed my research thesis topic on microplastics in drinking water, and Paperpal has just created a complete thesis outline for me. Not just the chapter headers, but the subtopics and content suggestions under each section. Introduction, literature review, methodology, results, discussion, conclusion, all structured and ready. This is what most masters and PhD students struggle with. How to begin my thesis, or what do I need to write under each section? All figured out in a matter of seconds. Hi, welcome back. I am Neha Agrawal. I'm the founder of WiseUp, and in this video today I'm going to share with you 3 AI tools that can support you throughout your thesis writing journey. Right from literature review to writing and preparing every section of your thesis to making your thesis free from plagiarism and AI detection, and finally creating scientific visuals that make your thesis visually attractive and ready for submission. So let's get started. Now, before you write your thesis, the first thing you need to do is perform a solid literature review. And the first AI tool you should use for this purpose is Consensus. Consensus is an AI-powered search engine where if you type a research question or chat with it, just like how you would with Claude or ChatGPT. For example, here I am typing, I'm working on my thesis on effect of microplastics in drinking water on human health. Help me understand the overall background of the topic, summarize the key research in the past 10 years, and help identify suitable research gaps and open research questions. I will choose the corpus as all, which is over 200 million research papers on Consensus. And now what Consensus will do is scan through millions of peer-reviewed studies to pull out the most relevant evidence-based answer for me. So here if you see, Consensus has come back with the result. And first it has shared with me the background and exposure via drinking water just to give me an understanding about the topic. After that, it has shared with me estimated intake from drinking water sources, what are the health effects that we know so far, and the key research that has happened in the last 10 years. So in my question, very specifically, I had said I only want to look at research in the past decade, and that's exactly what Consensus has pulled out for me. After that, Consensus has also shared with me the research gaps and potential thesis questions, all clearly explained here. And if you see, most of the papers that it has referred to are also full PDFs. So while a lot of other literature review tools only give you answers based on abstracts of other research papers, Consensus has access to full text PDFs of millions of peer-reviewed studies which it pulls out for you. Now you can go through these open research questions, or you can also deep dive into individual papers. You can even save it in your library, or you can cite the paper directly from the platform as well. What I like about Consensus is that you can chat with your papers as well. It could be a single paper or even your entire library of papers as well. For example, here I'm asking, can you explain what are the different mechanisms through which microplastics can enter drinking water? And Consensus is going through exactly the paper that I have selected to pull out the information for me. Now, something newly launched on Consensus is the citation graph, where if you choose a particular paper and click on graph, Consensus then shows you how this particular paper is linked to other relevant research studies in the field through citations and references. Now, this helps you understand how the papers are connected with each other and also helps you identify studies that you might have otherwise missed out on. So instead of spending weeks trying to understand the topic and then identifying research gap using Google Scholar, I was able to do that within seconds with the help of Consensus. And this can be really valuable in time saving when you're working on your thesis and you're building your literature review from scratch. Now, the cool thing that Consensus has done is launch this MCP connector, both on ChatGPT and Claude, which means if you're preparing a report, want to quickly fact check something, or working on a college essay, you can easily do that on your favorite tool, ChatGPT or Claude, and be sure that the answers are coming from actual peer-reviewed studies and not from random web articles or blogs, which is usually the case with these tools. So on ChatGPT, you can connect Consensus by going to the deep research option and then installing the app from there. And on Claude, you can do it under connectors. Simply search for Consensus and your account will be connected. The free account works just fine as well. Now, if you wish to learn from scratch how to write and publish a research paper, then you can join me for my course on A to Z of research writing and presentation. or if you wish to master AI tools for research, learn how to utilize them in your research workflow through live demos, then you can join me for my course on Mastered AI Tools for Research. I've put the link and discount coupon to both of them in the description below for you. So now you're sorted with the literature review part of your thesis. But what about the writing? And for this, we highly recommend our next AI tool, Paperpal. Paperpal is an AI writing assistant built specifically for academic writing. And I want to emphasize on this because unlike general purpose AI tools like ChatGPT, Paperpal is trained on millions of research papers, so it understands your academic tone, academic structure, and nuances of scholarly communication. So when you're working on such an important piece of academic text like your thesis, you should rely on AI tools like Paperpal for writing. And now, let me show you how it works in practice, starting with the feature that I opened this video with. So here I am inside Paperpal. I've logged into my account and now I click on Start with New Web Document. Now on the right panel, I look for the right option, go to Use Notes and Develop a Structure and give this specific command. Read the attached notes and guideline from the university and help me draft my thesis outline on microplastics in drinking water, detection, health implications, and removal strategies. Give complete outline with all sections of a thesis, subsections, and contextual suggestions. And now I'm going to attach two important documents. One is the rough notes that I've prepared for my thesis, and secondly is a PDF on the university guidelines that has been shared by my university as to how my thesis needs to be structured. And based on this, Paperpal has generated an entire thesis structure for me, telling me what to include in the titles page, how to draft my abstract, what to write in the acknowledgements section, table of contents, and then if you see within the introduction section, it's clearly telling me what is the information I'm supposed to include, like background on microplastics in the environment and drinking water, importance of studying microplastic effects on human health, etc. And then within the literature review also, it's broken it down into subsections, and then within those subsections also, what important information I need to include, everything is clearly laid out. So with such a detailed outline, now I know exactly which information goes in which section of my thesis, which is so helpful. Now once you have the structure, the next challenge is filling it up. And this is where I highly recommend that you take your thesis chapter by chapter and then try writing it on your own first. Do not go for auto-generated text by any AI tool, for example, converting your rough notes into paragraphs or getting entire introduction or methodology sections generated. This might seem like an easier thing to do right now, but it will lead to a very high AI detection score later on, which is going to be very challenging for you to reduce. So try to write each section on your own first and then use AI's help to refine it for you. For example, go for options like paraphrase, make academic, improve tone, wherever you feel you need a little support to make your writing more professional. For example, here I have opened a research paper on microplastic detection methods that I want to reference in my own thesis. I am taking a paragraph from there, I am going under the rewrite option and now asking Paperpal to paraphrase it for me. And this paraphrased version now I can easily include in my paper without having to worry about committing plagiarism. Now what's great about an academic writing AI tool like Paperpal is that you can cite and chat with your literature directly on the platform without having to use a separate reference manager. So I go under chat PDF, upload all the papers. You can upload up to 250 files in a month, and then you can chat with a single paper or even multiple papers together. For example, here I have uploaded 4 papers on my thesis topic and now typing the question, what are the removal strategies of removing microplastics from drinking water? And if you see, within a few seconds, Chat PDF has analyzed the sources that I've uploaded and come up with the relevant answer in a structured format. Now say while writing your thesis, you want to cite a particular paper. So for that, we simply go back to our thesis document, click on Cite, select the relevant paper from the library, or we can also get suggestions from Paperpal, and then we can directly click on Cite. And if you see, both the citation and the corresponding reference for that particular paper has appeared on our document. So now that we've learned how to draft our thesis, let's move on to something that is often neglected, and that is quality visuals. This is because they take time, require scientific precision, and often need tools that have a steep learning curve. And this is where our third tool comes in, Illustrae. Illustrae is an AI tool that converts your ideas into professional, scientifically accurate diagrams within seconds. And I want to be specific about this because if you've tried to generate scientific diagrams using ChatGPT, you know sometimes they can be inaccurate or cartoonish. But if you give that same prompt on Illustrae, this is the kind of research visual it will generate for you. So clearly, we now have an AI tool which is built for researchers where you can generate quality research visuals within seconds. So for our thesis, one of the key diagrams I need is a visual showing how microplastics enter drinking water. So here I am on the Illustrae website. I log into my account, click on create a new canvas, and now I'm going to describe this exactly to Illustrae. Ideally, the more specific you are, the better diagram you're going to get. So here I've typed, I need a pathway diagram showing how microplastics enter drinking water. Start from sources, plastic waste breakdown, synthetic textile washing, industrial discharge, flowing into surface water and groundwater, passing through a water treatment plant and ending at a household tap. Now under style, I choose modern, click on landscape and also switch on the labels option. And now I hit generate. So if you see here, this is what Illustrae has created for me, showing me the complete pathway of how microplastics enter drinking water. Now, even though the diagram is nice, the text, as you can see, the labels that you can see is not very clear. So now what I'm going to do is click on edit and say, the text is not clear. Can you fix that for me? And within seconds, this is the second image that Illustrae has created, which is cleaner, sharper, and the text is perfectly labeled. Now this is the kind of figure I can easily use in the introduction or literature review section of my thesis. With Illustrae, you can upload a rough sketch, a photo from your lab setup, or even start with an already existing diagram from the Illustrae library, and Illustrae will convert that into a clean scientific illustration. All exports are high resolution, publication safe and license free, so they can go straight to your thesis, conference poster, or even your journal paper. Now once your document and diagrams are ready, we move on to the last stage of the thesis preparation process, running a thorough review before submission. And for this, we again cycle back to Paperpal where we can perform language and grammar checks, AI detection check, plagiarism check, and a deep AI review as well. So first, what I recommend is that you start with a thorough language and consistency check. Simply go to the edit option, see the kind of language and consistency suggestions that Paperpal is providing, go through them carefully and then accept the ones that you find relevant. After that, go for a plagiarism check where Paperpal will go through your entire document and generate a plagiarism or a similarity report for you. See the similarity score that you have, which are the paragraphs where you might have committed some accidental plagiarism, and then work with Paperpal to paraphrase those and make it free of plagiarism. Once your language and plagiarism checks are done, the third check you should go for is AI detection check. And this is where Paperpal will show the AI detection score of your document. I would say do not take the score very seriously. Just use this as a personal self-check to understand what kind of AI score your document can have. And then the parts where you feel a lot of AI detection is coming up, you can work on it to reduce the AI score accordingly. And lastly, you should go for an AI review check. And personally, this is my favorite review feature on Paperpal because this is not just a grammar check. This is where Paperpal goes through your entire thesis and looks at whether your arguments are well supported, whether there are gaps in your logic, whether your structure flows correctly, and whether your language meets academic standards. It's basically like your supervisor or a journal editor going through your document before you actually submit it. So on Paperpal, there are multiple types of AI review options that are available, like check the scientific soundness of my document, give detailed scientific and argumentative critique, review for technical consistency, etc. What I recommend is that you try out all of them one by one, and then based on the suggestions that Paperpal is giving you, try to incorporate those feedback in your document. Now, I explained all these review features of Paperpal in much more detail in a separate video which you can check out. So once a thorough review of your document is done and you've made all the necessary corrections, your thesis will be ready for submission. So now to recap the complete workflow, we use consensus for literature review, Paperpal for writing and drafting, Illustrae for creating high quality scientific visuals, and then we circle back to Paperpal again for a thorough review of our document. Now, if you want to learn in detail how to choose a research topic, how to write each and every section of your research paper or thesis, how to make your document free from plagiarism, and how to get it published in top impact factor journals, then you can join me for my course on A to Z of research writing and presentation. Or if you want to learn the top AI tools that are available for research, how to choose them based on your research needs and your budget, and learn them step by step through live demos, then you can join me for my course on Master AI Tools for Research. I've put the link and discount coupon in the description below for you. I've linked all the 3 tools in the description below for you, along with relevant videos of each of these tools if you want to learn them separately. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.